Alright, so this is a bonus round of After Work. I mentioned at the end of the last video that I was pulling into Borders to take advantage of the closeout sale. It was like 40 to 60% off everything. And my shelves are already full of books. I don't even really have more room in my room for more books. So I'm going to end up kind of like stacking them horizontally, like showcase style in front of all of my books. But there were some books that I had and I'd lost and I'd given away, or some books I'd been meaning to buy but didn't really want to justify the expense, or things like that. I hadn't really, I read a lot of fiction growing up, and then I stopped right around nursing school, favoring, textbooks and scientific journals and stuff like that instead for leisure reading. But I had recently just gotten back into reading fiction because of some of the Creative Commons licensed sci-fi authors that have been floating around lately. Some of you might know a couple of them, like Cory Doctorow or Charles Stross, Rudy Rucker. Who else can I think of? There's so many more, and those are the only ones coming to my mind right now. So if I left anybody out, I apologize if you're watching this video. I actually found, so that kind of got me back into to reading fiction again, but all on my phone. I would just read it on my smartphone. I wouldn't actually buy any of the books, but I would always evangelize for them, like I do about anything that I'm excited about, including the nursing profession. I would tell all my friends about these books, who claim to be into reading, to suggest to them. So that's my way of giving back, not a monetary donation. But one of those authors, I actually found one of his books at Borders, and they had these signs up that said that all fixtures were for sale and to see the fixture manager for details. And so I asked the fixture manager how much it cost for the big letters hanging up that spell out like registers or newsstands or music or children or whatever. And I was running the letters through an anagram solver to figure out what I could spell with all those words. And it took me a while to find an anagram solver that would let me put in that many words at once. Let me tell you, that many letters at once. But after looking at all the words I could make, I just kind of settled on just getting an R and an N. But the fixture manager said he'd have to call me back because he wasn't sure if the liquidation company wanted to sell all the letters in bulk or just wanted one or two of the letters. And they didn't even bother to price them, so I don't think they anticipated somebody would ask to buy them. Actually, most of the people in the store seemed to act like they were just noticing the letters for the first time when I told them I wanted to buy them. Yeah, but I bought a ton of books. I spent like $180 or something like that. And I might as well just show them to you now. Let's see. Put this down over here. There we go. So let's see. First we've got, what do we got here? Zen and the Brain. It's a book I saw on a bookshelf once that nobody would lend me because I'm bad with losing books. And next we've got Collected Writings of Lao Tzu. I've got that on my phone, but I never know. I might lend it to somebody. A lot of the books I buy because I'm planning on lending them to people, not because I haven't read them already. I did get a couple of DVDs, which is unusual for me, but one of them was Moon, which kind of looks like Moon the way you're looking at it. And I saw like half of it on Netflix Instant, but I wasn't really paying attention. So, figured what the hell, I'll buy it. What else we got in here? Just making sure I don't crash into anything here. Okay, next bag. What do we got in here? This is the other DVD that I bought, and this is the Venture Brothers Season 4, Volume 1, which is a series that I like, but it tends to make me kind of sad and nostalgic. But never know when I'm going to want to show it to somebody. And the episode that I'm looking for is not on AdultSwim.com. What do we have next? Another I Ching book. I do have like 5 or 6 I Ching books, but I believe you can never have enough I Ching books. There was another one there, but I didn't like it, so I didn't get it. I got a William Gibson paperback. That's one that I haven't read. This is a big one. This must be a Neil Stephenson book. Yes, this is a Neil Stephenson book. One of the few of his that I haven't read. I actually didn't read much of his stuff after Cryptonomicon. I heard that this other series was good. I just never got around to reading it. Let's see, got some other big books in here. Yes, DMT, The Spirit Molecule. That's a book that I had once, but I think I lost because I lent it to somebody. Well, that's a fascinating book. It's written by an MD who kind of chronicles his experiences trying to get the government to allow him to obtain and do research on a psychoactive chemical. Pretty interesting to read. It's almost like a police procedural at times, of like all the steps in the bureaucratic like clusterfuck he gets into in the process. Let's see. Next, Quicksilver by Neil Stephenson. That's another one of his that I haven't read. What else? What else do I got in here? I think this is the last one of this bag. And this is... Oh, and Cryptonomicon by Neil Stephenson, which I think I never actually owned. I just borrowed from somebody else, maybe. Now down to this bag, we have The Hiram Key, which is another book by the people who wrote Uriel's Machine. Another fascinating book that I've lost that I believe is out of print now, which is too bad because I really would like a copy of that book again. But Hiram's Key is also supposed to be a very good book, so I'm looking forward to reading it. What else we got in here? Another William Gibson book, and this one is actually only $6 before the 40% reduction in price, so that hardcover was actually silly cheap. Next is an Alan Watts book. Unfortunately, this was the only book by Alan Watts they had in the whole store. And this was also another one that I owned, but it got damaged by water by leaving it in my car. Figure that one out. Next is Breaking Open the Head by Pinchbeck, which is another great book that I'm currently lending to somebody. I know where it is, but you never know when you might want to lend somebody else a copy of a book that you have already lent to someone else. So. And the pattern is kind of cool. I wonder if it's going to glitch out the video compression when I upload this to YouTube. You have to see like... I'll have to look at that later to see if that was all glitched out. Alright, next was... Oh! Excuse me. I found a novelization of a video game. I used to love novelizations of video games when I was little, but only if it was about a video game that I liked. So I'll give that one a whirl. We'll see what happens. And then I believe this is the last one. Oh yeah, another Neil Stephenson book. I've never even heard of this one. Oh, it's him. It's him and one other author. There was another book though. Where did it go? Oh yeah, here it is. That's the last one. This is what I was talking about by the author that I found by getting into Creative Commons post-singularity transhumanist science fiction, and that is Charlie Strauss. And the book is called Rule 34. And if you don't know what Rule 34 of the internet is, just take a second right now. Go ahead, pause the video, and Google Rule 34 of the internet, or rule number 34 of the internet. It's kind of funny. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of book is titled this way, but there's only one way to find out, and that is to open the book. Which I'm not going to do now, obviously, because I'm driving a car. But the other thing that I'm doing right now, besides just driving around aimlessly, which I am kind of doing a little bit, is I'm driving to my old elementary school, which has sat empty for several years now, and it's kind of in a state of disuse, disrepair. And I thought it would be interesting to go and take pictures of it at sundown before they tear it down. They're going to tear it down at some point, I would imagine. I don't think they're going to start running another elementary school in that building. Probably do something else with it. I think the ceilings are a little too low in some of the rooms to use it for anything else. But I don't think I'll be able to get inside, although you never know. But an abandoned elementary school would be kind of a fun place to creep around at night. I have some friends who do that recreationally and like trespass in disused properties where there aren't any people and just kind of skulk around or whatever. I never really saw the appeal of doing that. If I'm going to break into a room, I would like it to have electricity, a soft carpet, a refrigerator, and a Wi-Fi connection, maybe. But no, these are just empty, dirty, dusty rooms. if I were to go inside, I would probably need some kind of dust mask, because I do have pretty severe dust allergies at times. At least that's what I think they are. Maybe my lungs just don't like breathing dust in. Maybe. You never know. There we go. But I haven't really taken any pictures in a while. I used to take a lot of pictures, kind of compulsively, and just upload them all the time. And I guess, like so many other things, I just got bored of it after a while. But one of my former classmates, who is now going to nursing school, interestingly enough, posted a picture that I do dimly remember seeing, a class picture of our 6th grade class and the teacher. And the first thing that struck me about looking at it was how small the class was compared to, class sizes that I would be accustomed to in all of the schools after that, I guess. I forget how many kids were in the picture, like 13 maybe, or 14, something like that. But when my friend posted this picture, it just started like a really long thread on Facebook. It was like, oh, we should do an elementary school reunion or stuff like that, and so it kind of provoked a response in people's memories and things like that. Read some responses from people I haven't read any text from in a long time, So of course, my response to that is to drive to the abandoned elementary school and take a bunch of maudlin pictures. At sunset, at moody angles. See how they come out. There's this HDR setting on the camera that I really like, but I'm kind of maybe I'm too much in the habit of using it all the time. It kind of makes all the colors super saturated a little bit. And I'm so used to using it now that I just always have my camera set on that feature. I just like the way that the pictures look. It would seem weird to me to go back to, but maybe for this one, I can't decide. Maybe I'll do a little bit of both, of just some regular exposure and high dynamic range shots, and see what we get. That Borders was packed, though, with the going out of business sale. There were tons of people there, but it looked like everybody had already picked through all the DVDs and taken out most of the good ones. And same with the books. There wasn't really a huge selection of a bunch of stuff. And the employees were all very impolite, which was nice. I have no idea if they were actual employees of Borders or if they were employees of the liquidation company. But I guess I'd heard some horror stories about passive aggression from people pissed off that the internet demolished the retail book buying business. Maybe I got that impression, maybe that idea got put in my head because of a picture I think that I saw on Reddit or Dig or one of those news aggregator websites, and it was like some passive aggressive homemade flyer or a sign hung up at the storefront window that said, sorry you can't use our bathrooms, why don't you try using Amazon's? But no, everybody was really nice and really helpful. When I told them, when I had a really weird request, buying these letters that were hanging up off the wall, they, tried really hard to help me out, and when they couldn't, they took down my name and said they would call me back. But I didn't know it worked this way. It's kind of interesting. The warehouse is still continuously sending new product into the store, and they're liquidating everything in the store, like everything must go. So stuff is coming out of the store, but at the same time stuff is coming into the store. I've only been there once during this process, but I would imagine for a while the rates would be equal. It would make more sense they would send more liquidated product to whatever store we're selling more of the liquidated product. I guess that's reasonable. Never seen the place so busy though. You couldn't spit without hitting somebody. I ran into one of my buddies from downtown too, so that was nice. Chatted about comic books and things like that for a while. I always get a kick out of running into people I know in public places where I wasn't planning on meeting them. It doesn't seem to happen all that often, but it's always kind of fun when it happens. I'm almost at this school now. I'm getting pretty close. circumspect route. I think the sun isn't just... it's almost just in the right position in the sky to do this. I was kind of hoping for more interesting atmospheric conditions. We've had some weird atmospheric conditions the past month or so. There's this one day where for a short period of time, maybe like an hour and a half, everything was just orange, like this ridiculous shade of orange. And that would have been a good time to go outside and take some pictures, but I had just gotten done working for the day, and I was kind of kicking back and kind of browsing the web, and I'm like, you know what, screw it. We'll let everybody else go take pictures. I'm just going to rest. Then, oddly enough, since I didn't get very much sleep last night, I have like a lot of motivation and energy to do stuff today. I don't know how that works exactly, but I'll probably be paying for it in another 4 hours. Fortunately, I don't have to work again until 4 o'clock tomorrow evening when I take call again. And then I have 1 day off, and then I'm working day shift, so they're doing this thing to me again where it's not that they're doing it. I'm saying okay to these shifts, so it's on me. But it seems like lately I've been working like a night shift, and then a day shift, and then a day off, and then a day shift, and then a night shift, and it's just all over the place. Beggars can't be choosers, though, and I got a big school bill to pay off. I just got my bill for this class, this freaking transition to practice class, nursing 200 and something or other. And the other, the 3 credit classes that I've been taking were about like $1,500 to $1,800 per class for like a 3 credit class that takes 8 weeks. And this nursing class cost well over $4,000 just by itself, and it's only like 3 credits or so. And there were extra fees for like lab fees. Like, why am I getting charged a lab fee? I never set foot in a lab. I didn't use the lab. I did not utilize any of the laboratory apparatuses, I'm an online student, so why am I getting assessed a lab fee? But that isn't even a major part of the bill. I mean, just the class by itself was over $4,000. I didn't realize that the class would be that much more. But, I got a lot of shifts coming up, and I've been working a lot, and I've got other options and resources and things to do. So it's not that big a deal. I'm just, even more increasingly disgruntled about the fact that I'm taking these fluff 100 to 200 levels classes that don't really require any actual effort. It's like the dean or the director or whatever of the nursing program warned me that these classes require about 10 to 15 hours of study a week. And I didn't spend more than an hour and a half a week on anything, and that was like at the high end. That was like an unusually busy week for schoolwork. I don't know. It's difficult to just kind of grin and bear it and be the good soldier and just kind of muscle through it and keep on going. So I'm going to do that and complain about it bitterly every chance I get to anyone who will listen. At school, I mean. Alright, here we are. Here's the school. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I like the lighting. Maybe I could have waited another 15 or 20 minutes. Maybe I will. But this, I think, will work. Alright. Let's go to school.